Have you ever had your online data compromised? It's estimated that 30,000 websites are being hacked around the world every day. And while many hacks are organized by collective groups, there are several incredibly talented hackers who've made names for themselves with the sheer size and power of the targets they've picked. We're talking multi-million, billion-dollar government institutions and international companies being picked at by lone wolves. And while that may sound like the story of Robin Hood, these hackers are not fighting for the people, but for themselves. In this video, we'll be looking at the top 10 most dangerous and richest hackers in the world. These hackers are known for the profits or enemies they made. For some of them, both. Watch until the end of the video for one of the biggest hackers still at large today. So let's dive right in. Number 10. Kevin Mitnick. As one of the most famous hackers of the early internet, Kevin Mitnick started his road to becoming a hacker during high school and quickly became talented for his extraordinary memory and social skills. Within the span of a decade, he would hack into the networks of various telephone companies such as Motorola, Pacific Bell, and even at one point hacked the North American Defense Command in 1982. It was ultimately in 1989 when Mitnick's fellow hackers ousted him for hacking into Digital Equipment Corporation that would lead him into becoming one of the most well-publicized cyber fugitives in the country. It was only after the persistence of one of his victims that he was later found and arrested, being sent to prison until 2000. Ironically, he may not be the most dangerous hacker on our list, as Mitnick never used any acquired data for malicious purposes. But he's absolutely one of the richest, having turned white hat after release with an estimated net worth of $20 million. Number 9. Graham Ivan Clark. Kevin Mitnick is often known for using the concept of social engineering before the term even existed, and Graham Ivan Clark is someone who has made an infamous modern iteration on the idea of manipulating people into getting what they want. Clark is responsible for the largest 2020 Twitter hack in which the 17-year-old hacker took over the accounts of several high-profile figures, including former President Barack Obama, music artist Kanye West, and tech billionaire Elon Musk. The hacked accounts were used to funnel followers into donating Bitcoin routed to Clark's account by promising to return $2,000 in Bitcoin to anyone who sends $1,000 in the same currency. This wide-scale hack defrauded over $100,000 from those who fell into the trap. Clark was not tried as an adult, nearly missing a prison sentence of 10 years, and ended up with a 3-year sentence instead. Number 8. Elliot Gunton. Elliot Gunton hasn't hacked the government, but like Clark, Gunton has made money. A lot of money. Starting at age 16, Gunton was responsible for an infamous hack of telecoms firm TalkTalk, compromising 4 million customers' personal data, including card numbers and bank accounts. He managed to avoid prison time and was put under 12 months of youth rehab, but as other hackers have shown, it's not enough to stop a hacker in their tracks. Gunton would continue with hacks such as hacking famous Instagram accounts and amassing more than $380,000 in cryptocurrency. Gunton would end up being indicted in the U.S. for the breach of currency exchange site EtherDelta and defrauding millions of dollars over 2 weeks. Allegedly, one victim was scammed out of $800,000 because of his actions. Gunton would plead guilty in the UK for 20 months in prison and be fined over £400,000. It's not entirely clear how much he made from hacking, but it's likely nothing to scoff at. Number 7. Kevin Poulsen. Kevin Poulsen was 17 years old when he got his first government warning on hacking. In 1983, he had hacked into the Pentagon's ARPANET under the handle Dark Dante. As he was a minor at the time, the government did not prosecute Poulsen and let him off soft. Ignoring the initial warning, Poulsen continued hacking and found his way in 1988 into hacking a federal computer before being discovered once again by authorities. Poulsen would lay low while continuing his black hat government hacking, all while being pursued by the FBI. In 1990, Poulsen used his abilities for a more benign crime of rigging a radio station contest to guarantee him winning a new Porsche, vacation, and $20,000. Poulsen would end up sentenced to 5 years of prison in 1994, plus 3 years of restricted internet access after release. Like Mitnick, Poulsen would turn a new leaf and become a white hat hacker and journalist. Number 6. Matthew Bevan and Richard Price. A 2-in-1 British team of hackers, Bevan and Price, also known by their online handles Coogee and DataStream Cowboy, respectively, are infamous for hacking into several military networks in 1996, as Price had dumped the Korean Atomic Research Institute's data onto American networks. It was thought that this would have been volatile had the data been from North Korea, as it could have sparked physical retaliation for suspected espionage, potentially a Third World War. Fortunately, the data was found to be from South Korea and thus did not result in an international crisis. Despite the severity, the two young hackers claimed to have only been trying to prove a UFO conspiracy theory. However, their actions could have proved to have been catastrophic and exposed how insecure military networks were. Number 5. Gary McKinnon. A fairly similar situation to Bevan and Price, Gary McKinnon is a Scottish hacker that was accused in 2002 of the biggest military computer hack of all time. Convinced of conspiracy theories relating to free energy suppression, UFOs, and technologies hidden to the public, McKinnon would attempt to find proof of these theories by infiltrating 97 U.S. military and NASA computers through virus attacks and file deletion over the span of 13 months, from 2001 to 2002, with the estimated damages being roughly $700,000. McKinnon would also leave taunts with his attacks, with one instance posing, "Your security is crap," on their website. While McKinnon has stated his motive was based on conspiracy theories, he has admitted to one threat he left on a computer, saying that U.S. foreign policy is akin to government-sponsored terrorism these days. It was not a mistake that there was a huge security stand-down on September 11th last year. "I am solo. I will continue to disrupt at the highest levels." He would not continue, as he would be discovered at the house of his girlfriend's aunt in London, but would be blocked from being extradited to the U.S. due to public support. Do you agree with McKinnon's extradition being blocked? Let us know in the comments below. Number 4. Michael Calche. As another young hacker who exposed the weakness of government networks, 15-year-old Michael Mafia Boy Calche launched a series of major DDoS attacks in February 2000. He began his hacking project known as Revolta by targeting Yahoo, which at the time was the top search engine on the internet and a multi-billion-dollar company. Calche would succeed in bringing the search engine down for a full hour. eBay, CNN, Amazon, and Dell would also become targets of his mass attacks in the following week. A sting performed on an IRC channel, where Calche claimed to have been behind the attacks, would lead to the boy's conviction and arrest in 2001. Calche claimed that all of these attacks were done to establish himself and his cyber group, TNT, in the digital world, and arguably he succeeded in creating notoriety for himself. Because of his actions, the U.S. economy took a hit thanks to lowered trust in online security. Remember, this was a 15-year-old who did all of this. How easy would it be for actual international enemies to wreak havoc on the internet? Number 3. Albert Gonzalez. Notorious hacker Albert Gonzalez was one of the best hackers and moderators of the forum shadowcrew.com, a site that existed in 2002 to 2004, with subforums dedicated to the latest developments in hacking, including social engineering, credit card fraud, virus development, scams, and phishing methods. Federal agents would arrest Gonzalez in 2003 for his mass data theft of millions of debit cards, but he would end up cooperating with them as a paid informant to take down other members of Shadow Crew. Despite this deal, Gonzalez would silently continue to operate his criminal hacking schemes behind the back of authorities. He and several other accomplices would hack TJX companies, stealing 45.6 million credit and debit card numbers by 2007. Many other major attacks he committed, such as those on Dave & Buster's and Heartland payment systems, would result in him being sentenced to 20 years in prison in 2010, having stolen incalculable amounts of money from card members. Number 2. Astra. As an anonymous hacker who has never had their public identity released, the hacker named Astra was apprehended by authorities in 2008. According to the information that has been publicly revealed, Astra at the time of arrest was a 58-year-old Greek mathematician who had been hacking into the Dassault Group, a French aviation company, for nearly half a decade. The reason? Astra had been stealing their data on the latest weapon technologies, including software and developments that the company had in their database, and then resold the data to about 250 clients in Brazil, France, Germany, Italy, South Africa, and the Middle East. With $360 million in damages, it's unclear why Astra's identity wasn't revealed to the public. However, a digital weapons dealer is certainly someone that you wouldn't want running loose on the darknet. Number 1. Alexei Balan. Our number 1 entry is also someone who has yet to be apprehended by any authorities. Latvian and Russian hacker Alexei Blexeyevich Balan is currently listed on the FBI's most wanted list, being pursued since 2010. He was already well known in the hacking underground by the handle of M4G and had been performing illicit services such as consulting for other black hat hackers and selling private data online. According to reports between 2012 and 2013, Balan had stolen data of employees and users of Yahoo and 2 other large companies in California and Nevada, totaling 700 million accounts. The data was then later resold on the internet. The FBI reports that Balan is believed to travel frequently, having locations recorded in Greece, the Maldives, and Thailand. His current whereabouts are unknown, with an offer of $100,000 by the FBI for anyone that has information on Balan's whereabouts. Being still at large, Balan may still be operating, and with such a high track record of compromised data, Balan is by far the most successful criminal hacker on our list. So there you have it. Take your online security seriously so you don't end up a victim of anyone like these guys. Do you agree these hackers are as dangerous as governments make them out to be? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this video interesting, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more cybercrime history. Thanks for watching, and see you soon in the next video.